Well, thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Thank you for the privilege of addressing this chamber, and it's a pleasure to see so many of you. Good morning. I am grateful for this opportunity. Lieutenant Governor Jones, President Pro Tem Kennedy, Majority Leader Gooch, Minority Leader Butler, Caucus Chair Parent, thank you for the chance to spend some time with you, to join you in this historic chamber. I'd like to begin by expressing on behalf of all Georgians, as I did in phone conversations over the weekend with Augusta University President Brooks Keel and UGA President Moorhead, our shock and outrage at this horrific murder of a young woman, Laken Riley, in Athens, a nursing student with a bright future ahead of her. And I would like to ask that we just take a moment and rise and observe a moment of silence in solidarity with her family, her community, and those institutions. Thank you. Of course, it's a great honor to be with you here in this chamber where elected representatives who are empowered by voters to make laws on behalf of the people gather to do so. That process of representative government is core to our republic and to our freedom, which are defended every day around the world by those who serve in uniform. So I hope you won't mind as well if I take the opportunity to ask all of those who serve and have served, please to rise and to be honored and thanked by those of us here in the chamber and in the gallery as well. Please, all those who have served in uniform and do serve. And I hope, Lieutenant Governor, that I haven't committed some gross violation of Senate rules by inviting participation from those assembled in the gallery this morning. Look, I'm here to just convey to you this. I am here to work with you. I want you to succeed. I want your communities to succeed, because when we all work together, Georgia succeeds. And the reality is that most of our constituents don't wake up every day defining themselves as Democrats or Republicans, and neither should we. And in fact, I think most Georgians and most Americans recognize that the level of division and hatred in our politics is tearing this country apart. And that's why I don't invest my time in controversy or notoriety, whether through my service on the Intelligence Committee or fighting for Georgia growers to gain greater access to world markets, or working with all of you to implement the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, which is the greatest investment in American infrastructure since the Eisenhower administration. It's about building decent bipartisan working relationships and staying closely connected to our constituents. And I know that's what motivates each of you as well. And it's a pleasure to work with so many of you on both sides of the aisle to get things done for Georgia. It's been a pleasure, for example, to work with Senator Russ Goodman to advance the interests of Georgia's farmers and growers. It's been a pleasure to work with Senator Tanya Anderson, who's on my military academy board, to help identify those promising young candidates for opportunities to study at our service academies. And my legislative efforts and my service to the state will remain focused on being the maximally accessible and responsive public servant, responsive and accessible to all of you who are the elected representatives of the people, and responsive and accessible to the people. And I will also continue to sustain the oversight and investigations that are a crucial part of the U.S. Senate's role in our constitutional system. I see that Senator Kirkpatrick is here, and I want to thank her for her leadership on behalf of vulnerable foster children here in the state of Georgia. I know the safety of vulnerable children is a top priority for so many in this body, and in light of the dangerous conditions that prevail in foster care systems nationwide, including here in our own state, I hope that the urgency of reform will lead to meaningful legislative progress to protect Georgia's most vulnerable children. And I thank all of you who have been engaged in leading that effort. My team and I are standing by to address your needs. Many of you have my cell phone. If you don't, I'll make sure you do. Please call me and text me whenever and however I can be of service to you and your communities in the interest of the state of Georgia and in the interest of the United States. And thank you again, Lieutenant Governor, for the privilege of addressing you this morning. God bless.